It's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. Yes, I'm cooking breakfast. It's Saturday morning. We just had a meeting with Huey and Bob to get the show ready for Monday, and I realized I've got to get a video out. So I'm thinking here, what am I going to talk about? Well, I thought I'd talk about it over breakfast. As you can see, I'm making bacon and French toast because I'm tired of having cereal every day for this week because our kitchen is being renovated. So I'm out on the deck here and I was wondering, what am I going to talk about? And I thought I would talk about something I've spent a lot of time making videos about, and that is staying connected. So as I'm making breakfast today, I'm just going to talk about my thoughts on staying connected, how important it is to prevent social isolation with seniors. Now you can see, I'm also doing this on my new Pixel 8 Pro phone, so I want to test out the camera and see how it works. You probably look out behind me here, you'll see the marina, and of course if you turn around you will have seen the Blackstone grill as I'm sitting out here making breakfast. So let me talk about staying connected as I make breakfast. All right, hold on a sec here while I get the French toast on. You see the bacon's getting pretty good. I always find that I have to crank the grill up a bit when I put the French toast on. So let me just get this going, and then we'll get these on. And there we go. And we'll zoom out here a bit. There we go. French toast on. The bacon looks pretty darn good. Oh, this is coming up. I'm just going to turn the grill up here, and we are going to have some good groceries in a few minutes. So staying connected, as you know, I have two daughters. One lives in Adelaide, Australia, and the other, of course, is Jennifer, and her family live in Addis Ababa. So a long way away, like half a world away, no matter which way I go. So staying connected and talking to them is super important for us. And the advice I can give you is you need to know what language your kids speak. Whoever you want to contact or who talk to, you have to figure out the language, such as, is it FaceTime? Is it WhatsApp? What are they using in social media to connect? Many of you may try to send them an email. Well, I'm going to tell you that you're about 20 years too late, because anybody younger than us isn't using email to communicate. They're using social media. Now, for us, both my children are all Apple. They're all in with Apple. And so for many years, we used FaceTime. We bought an iPad, and that's how we would communicate, using FaceTime. But more recently, in the last couple of years, they've all switched to WhatsApp. And I've talked about WhatsApp before, and I've had two videos made about WhatsApp and installing WhatsApp. And it has, of course, tremendous popularity, particularly around the world. And that's based on security and ease of use. So I want to tell you, of course, you all know that Jennifer just left with her family and headed back to Addis. And that's always a tearful time and difficult time for us as we have to say goodbye at the airport. But you know, when they're over in the Vancouver airport, we were talking to our little grandson and sending videos back and forth and staying communicated. And as you see, when they flew from Vancouver to Istanbul, here's a video of Jennifer the day she got to Istanbul, having dinner at the top of their hotel.
Hi, we just arrived in Istanbul and we're at our hotel. And we've just come up to the restaurant, and this is what we saw.
Okay, now we're back. And of course, the next day they go out and they bought Julian, our little grandson, an ice cream cone. And this is a very cute video. I want you to watch this.
Yes, please. Thank you. Why, Yes, please. Thank you. Bubble gum. Thank you so much. Come here. Try. Try. Thank you. For you.
And that, of course, was sent to us on WhatsApp. We watched that immediately after it was taken, as was immediately uploaded to WhatsApp. And we were able to download it and view it and stay connected. And of course, we met them and talked to them as they were arriving in at us through WhatsApp. Now, I'm not saying everyone should use WhatsApp, but what I'm saying is that's what they're using, so that's what I'm going to use. So if you want to stay connected, let's not get into social isolation. Figure out what your kids are using for social media. Well, I think my French toast is cooked, so I'm going to head over for breakfast.
Part one of today's presentation is going to be the CPU versus the NPU. What's the difference? And this is a quick refresher on a topic recently covered by Ron. NPU and a CPU, the central processing unit. I'm going to break it down by various categories. First category is function. CPU chips are what their name implies, the chip that handles the central processing by executing instructions and performing a variety of operations. Neural chips are designed for neural network computations and machine learning as related to artificial intelligence tasks. They excel at handling large-scale operations. The architecture. The CPU is versatile and supports many applications using architectural terms we are familiar with, such as x86 and ARM. Neural chips have new architecture that optimize for neural network workloads with new terminology. Example, the TPU, which is known as the tensor processing units. Parallelism. CPU chips are designed to balance performance with power efficiency. Neural chips focus on and accelerate neural network computations by handling multiple data points simultaneously. Then the category of memory. CPUs follow the traditional memory hierarchy, such as RAM and storage. Neural chips have specialized memory structures to handle large neural network computations. Then we have energy efficiency. CPU looks to find a balance between performance and power consumption. The neural chip is optimized for energy efficiency during background activities. In summary, neural chips are specialized for AI workloads, while regular computer chips handle diverse tasks. All right, now on to part two, focusing on the Neuralink Corporation and the N1 brain implant. Neuralink Corp and the N1 brain implant. So Neuralink Corp is an American neurotechnology company founded in 2016 by Elon Musk and a team of 7 scientists and engineers from the fields of neuroscience, biochemistry, and robotics. Their mission was to create an implantable brain-computer interface, now known as a BCI, that allows direct communication between the brain and external devices with the goal of treating medical conditions. So how does the N1 implant differ from the NPU chip? Well, primarily they serve 2 different purposes. The NPU chip is a hardware component for computer-related devices and is designed to accelerate neural network computations. The primary focus is on machine learning and optimizing computational efficiency. But the BCI, the brain-computer interface, that is implanted directly into the brain to facilitate communication between neural circuits and external devices, thus enabling the user to control computers or mobile devices wirelessly. How is the N1 implant done? Well, it's a system that involves ultra-thin probes being inserted into the brain, a neurosurgical robot to perform the operations, and a high-density electronic system capable of processing information from neurons. Each probe consists of an area of wires that contains electrodes capable of locating electrical signals in the brain, and a sensory area where the wire interacts with an electronic system that allows amplification and acquisition of the brain signal. So the potential applications of Neuralink technology? I asked Copilot, what are the potential applications of Neuralink technology? And the following slides show the answers based on various categories. Medical applications. Relating to paralysis rehabilitation. Neuralink can help paralyzed individuals regain mobility by allowing them to control robotic limbs or exoskeletons directly from their brain. Neurological disorders. It could treat conditions like epilepsy, Parkinson's disease, and depression by modulating neural activity. And then brain injury recovery. The technology might aid in brain injury recovery by stimulating damaged areas. Assistive devices, prosthetics and augmentations. Neuralink could enhance prosthetic limbs, enabling more natural movements and sensory feedback. And then sensory augmentation, it might allow blind or deaf individuals to perceive visual or auditory information through brain signals. Communication, direct brain-to-brain communication. Imagine sending thoughts or emotions directly to another person's brain. And enhanced communication devices, improved communication for people with speech impairments or locked-in syndrome. And then we have the category of cognitive enhancement, memory augmentation, enhancing memory storage and retrieval, and then speeding up learning processes by directly interfacing with the brain. Now, what are the ethical considerations? Ensuring data privacy and preventing unauthorized access to neural information, and then also addressing concerns related to consent, autonomy, and potential misuse. So the first patient has received a Neuralink implant. Noland Arbo is a 29-year-old who has become a quadriplegic following a diving accident at a summer camp lake in Pennsylvania. Following the implant, using his mind, he was able to move a cursor on a computer screen to control music and move the pieces in a game of chess. It was reported that since the operation, up to 85% of the implant threads from the device had detached. So this is an issue that is still being worked on. Nonetheless, Nolan said the implant has dramatically improved his quality of life, and he is excited about the future. Now, a second patient has received a Neuralink implant, and this is recent. Only last Thursday, August 22, Neuralink reported a second patient named Alex with a spinal cord injury was able to control a cursor on a computer screen within 5 minutes of having the system turned on. A major difference in this patient's progress is there has been no observed retraction of the delicate threads of electrodes from inside Alex's brain, a problem, as discussed before, for Noland. Neuralink predicts more capabilities will be added over time by refining the software itself. So what are the goals for the future of Neuralink? Elon Musk said, quote, we feel pretty confident that in the next year or two, someone with a Neuralink implant would be able to outperform a pro gamer because the reaction time would be faster, unquote. Neuralink's overarching aim is to create a brain-machine interface that will revolutionize how humans interact with technology and potentially lead to groundbreaking advancements in medicine, communication, and human cognition. The goal of Neuralink devices is to eventually be able to repair damaged neurons and help people with issues such as paralysis. In summary, neural chips play a crucial role in advancing brain-computer interfaces and AI applications, whether it's restoring autonomy for individuals with medical needs or enhancing AI performance. These chips are at the forefront of cutting-edge technology. Now, I've put in the chat a link to an episode of the Kim Komando Show where she interviews ℙ𝕝𝕉𝕂 that will provide more insight into this remarkable advancement. Thanks to Mike Ungerman for alerting me to this interview. Just type the name ℙ𝕝𝕉𝕂 in the YouTube search box for even more interviews. I think this type of technology is better than that relates to our computers, because this is basically will be helping human improvement. Thank you for your time, and the end.
Gemini Live just released this past week for a select group of Android and Pixel phones. This is incredible. This is conversational AI, Gemini Live. In this video, we're going to show you how to set it up, where to get it. I'm going to get Gemini Live to help me troubleshoot some ideas for a video I want to make. We're going to send it over to Canva or PowerPoint and make a YouTube video. So stay tuned and let me show you how it's done. So I'm Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. We help seniors understand technology and explain this rocky, wild, changing field of AI. You know, when I was a young lad, I remember Space Odyssey and HAL 9000 and how we interact and talk to the computer. Well, now with Gemini Live, it's all possible right on my smartphone. That's so cool. You gotta see this. It's a game changer. So let's have a look at Gemini Live. What is Gemini? Well, you've probably heard about Copilot, Bard, all sorts of things in the past few months about AI. Well, simply Gemini is Google's AI. Now, Gemini Live is only available on the mobile device. So today we're going to focus only on mobile devices using Gemini Live. But of course, Gemini is available on all devices, including your mobile and PC. Gemini Live, unfortunately, is not available for the iPhone. So let's start out on where you might find or download or how you're going to get Gemini Live. Well, first you have to start with Gemini. Now, Gemini is on the mobile device a replacement for Google Assistant. So let's talk about where you're going to get Gemini Live from. But first we have to look at where you're going to get Gemini from. So we're going to talk only about mobile devices. So if you have a Pixel phone, then Google Assistant will be on your phone automatically. Now, Gemini will be replacing this, and that should have happened automatically. The first thing you need to do is make sure that the Google Assistant has been replaced by Gemini. Now, if you go to the Play Store and you typed in and searched for Gemini Live, you wouldn't find it. There is nothing there that says Gemini Live. The only thing you'll see is the Gemini app. And as I said, if you have a Samsung S24, just make sure you download that and install it. If you have a Pixel phone, it's likely already done for you. And when you access either the Gemini app or the Google Assistant on a Pixel phone, then you will be able to see Gemini. Now, Gemini on your mobile device, since it's going to be used as your personal assistant, is integrated into your calendar, your email. All features on your phone will be able to be accessed for Gemini because, of course, it's going to be there to help you. So let's just go over this one more time. There's a big difference between Gemini and Gemini Live, and I want to just go over that to make sure it's crystal clear. Gemini is Google's AI. It works as a Google Assistant on your phone. It is available on all Android and even iPhones. So it is universally present, and it runs as an app on your phone, not needing to be connected to the cloud. So when we talk about Gemini Live, it's different. Gemini Live is conversational AI. This is restricted to only Android phones. There's a select group of Pixel and Samsung phones that allow this to be present. It only works if it's connected to the cloud. So the other interesting thing about Gemini AI is it has no personal access to your information on your phone. So you can't ask it to send an email or book an appointment or anything you can do that Gemini will do, because it has no information and does not have access to your personal information on the phone. So how do you get Gemini Live? Well, it's sort of magic. This is my Pixel 8 Pro that I'm doing the demonstration on, and you'll see this is my home screen, and at the bottom you'll see I've opened Gemini, and there's a little circle to the right side, and when you click that will start Gemini Live up. If you don't see that circle there, you don't have Gemini Live. So just to review that again, there is no Gemini Live app. Don't go to the Play Store. Don't look for the Gemini Live app because there is none. It works through the Gemini app when it's enabled. So you say, how am I going to get this enabled? Well, it is a paid-for service. Now, there are many different ways that you might have this enabled. Now, it may be enabled on a new phone that you bought, and you may have a free service for a couple of months. It may be related to a Google One subscription, such as I have, and this is available through your Google account, and this would allow you to have access to this. And it also gives you your your Gemini Advanced feature. So it's like the advanced Chat GPT. And I think they're all the different services all want about $20 a month. And this is indeed what Google is doing. So unless you have one of the services which you have a paid or a free trial or something, you won't see that circle there. Now in my case, I'm not sure because I bought a new Pixel 8 Pro, whether it was there because of that, but I also have it enabled through my Google One subscription. So let's see how it works. All right, let's see how this works. I'm going to start with a command, and we'll see what happens here. As you'll see on my phone, it brings up the Google Assistant, which is now Gemini. So now we're going to tap this here to this little button that I told you before to bring up Gemini Live.
Okay, sounds good. Is there anything else on your mind?
Yes, I make videos for Tech for Senior, and I'm interested in some topics about technology that we could discuss with seniors. I'm thinking of making a video.
That's a fantastic idea. Tech for Seniors is a great niche, and there's always something new to learn. Here are a few ideas. First, smartphones are a minefield of confusion for older folks. Maybe a video on the basics like making calls, texting, simple apps, or even taking decent pictures would be helpful. Also, cybersecurity is a never-ending concern.
Let's go back and talk about smartphones. What topics about smartphones could I make a video about?
There's a lot you could cover with smartphone basics. Here's a few ideas. Let's start broad a video on the most important apps for seniors. Think things like making calls, texting, a simple camera app, maybe even something like a weather app. You could also focus on one particular app in detail, like how to use WhatsApp to chat with family and friends, or how to video call on something like FaceTime. Last up, you could do a troubleshooting video. Cover things like how to turn a phone on and off. how to find the charger, or what to do if the battery dies. So would you rather do a general overview of helpful apps, focus on one app in particular, or put together a little troubleshooting guide?
Let's talk about WhatsApp and staying connected with your family. I've done a bunch of videos about that before.
What about a video on using WhatsApp to make free video calls to family and friends?
That's
You
a
can
great
even make
idea.
a follow-up video on using other...
Let's
Great! I think a video like that would be really useful for seniors. It could help them feel more connected to their loved ones, especially if they're far away. Do you want a few tips for making the video easy to follow?
Yes, I want you to tell me 3 tips that I could use in my video.
All right, here are 3 tips to make your WhatsApp video call tutorial easy to follow. First, use simple language and avoid technical jargon. Seniors might not know what a profile picture is, so just call it an avatar instead. Second, use lots of visuals. Instead of just talking about how to find the video call button, actually show them where it is on their screen. Last, keep things moving. You don't want your video to be too long or they'll lose interest. Focus on the most important steps and try to keep the whole video around 5 to 7 minutes.
Could you create an outline for me?
Absolutely. Here's a simple outline to get you started. First, you'll want a quick intro. Welcome your viewers and let them know what the video is about. Making video calls on WhatsApp. Then, jump into the tutorial part. Start with opening WhatsApp and finding the Chats tab. Next, show them how to start a new chat or find an existing one. After that, show them the video call button and how to tap it. Now it's time to wrap things up. Do a quick recap of the steps, wish them luck, and maybe even ask them to subscribe to your channel for more helpful videos.
So all the information saved in Gemini Live is saved in a text file, and you can actually save it, you can email it, you can export it, lots of things you can do with it, but all that discussion we had about my idea for a video is certainly saved. Now what I've done is I've taken some of those key ideas now and I've come over to Canva and I've added it into Magic Design, and this has created a quick video. It doesn't get any easier. This took me a few seconds to do this, and it's now created a presentation for me. So let's have a look here. You'll see the title says Staying Connected, and then we go on here and you'll see the different slides as we go through and all the things that we discussed with Gemini, and you'll see all the slides it's made for me as we go through here. It doesn't get any easier than that. So it's very easy to take the data, export it, and put it into Canva or PowerPoint and create these great presentations. It's so easy to do. It makes it a snap. All right, let's summarize this presentation into 5 key points. The first is Gemini Live is only available on the mobile device. The second issue is Gemini Live is only available on select Pixel and Samsung phones. You'll have to check if your model has this. The third thing is that Gemini is different than Gemini Live. Gemini Live is cloud-based and does not contain your personal information. Gemini, of course, is the new replacement for the Google Assistant. The fourth thing is there is no app for Gemini Live, so don't go looking at the Play Store trying to find it. It is part of Gemini. And if you have subscribed or paid for or you've activated Gemini Live, then that little dot right beside the search bar in Gemini will show you where to click for Gemini Live. And the last point is that, of course, it isn't free. You may have this as a trial version for a couple of months or as part of your Google One account, but there is a cost, and it looks like it's going to be around $20 a month. This will be slowly rolling out over the next few months, and I think you should give it a try. It's a blast. So I'm Ron Brown, and this has been Tech for Senior. I hope you've enjoyed the video had as much fun as I did making it.